Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Arpit Dubey and I'm currently pursuing Masters of Mathematics from IIT Kharagpur. Through this channel, I will be covering most of the topic which is related to the data science, and in this particular video, I will be covering why Python is go-to language for the data science and what are the building blocks of the Pythons. So even if you are a beginner, not a problem, let's begin. Hey guys, so we are talking about why Python is go-to language for data science. So our first question is why Python for data science? So the first point which is very important, and that is it is very simple and easy to learn because of its syntax. The syntax which we are using in Python, it is really simple and easy to understand, right? And the another point is that it has a huge ecosystem of libraries. When we are talking about libraries, then it has NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, sklearn, TensorFlow. These are the libraries which we will be using while doing data manipulation, visualization, machine learning thing, or deep learning thing. We will be using this all of the libraries in our future videos, right? So these are the libraries which we will be using, and also the Python is cross-platform compatible, right? Because if we are using Linux or let's say Windows or OS or any any platform, then it is compatible with that, and it has excellent prototyping and scalability. Basically, the prototyping means it has a dynamic prototyping. Basically, dynamic typing supports by the Python. We will be go deeper inside that just after some minutes. The scalability, basically, scalability of the Python is really good because for everything it has the library. Like if you wanted to do some mathematical operations, you have NumPy, right? And if you wanted to do some data manipulation thing, you have Pandas. If you wanted to do some visualization things, you have Matplotlib or Seaborn also. And if you wanted to implement some machine learning algorithm, or you want to predict or learn something from the data, you have sklearn. And if you are using with the deep learning models, or using deep learning model, or implementing deep learning models, then you have TensorFlow. So these are the libraries which will be already, it is inbuilt, or it is already available in. So NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, sklearn, TensorFlow, these are the libraries which we'll be using in our upcoming videos. So because of these libraries, it is highly scalable, right? And we will be talking about prototyping also. So let's start with our first session. And first of all, what you have to do is uh, yes, so I just recommend you to please install Anaconda distribution. This is the platform which we will be using for our Python writing, Python code writing, and Python code execution. So what you have to do is you just have to visit the official Anaconda website. The link I will paste in video description, below in the video description. And then what you have to do is you have to download the latest version, and then you have to install, follow the instruction of the installation. Basically, I haven't made the installation video because it is already available on the YouTube, and that is why I haven't uploaded it. I haven't covered it that. So you just can do it, or you can just even see the instruction which is already given on that website. You can refer that also. So after installing, you just have to launch the Jupyter notebook. I'm just showing you how will it look like. So this is the Anaconda navigator. This is the how this interface look like. You just have to click on this launch button under the Jupyter notebook section. So after clicking the launch button, you will be redirected toward the this Jupyter notebook. So after opening Jupyter notebook, you will be able to see these blocks of codes, these blocks which we will be using for our code writing. So basically you have to write your code, and after writing here, you have to just click on run button, and you can run the file. This Jupyter notebook is very important while you are doing some project or some Python thing or some big project while doing using the Python. So this is very important. So let's start with our very first session of the this playlist, and that is why Python is go-to language for the data science. So first of all, I welcome you again to my YouTube channel, and this channel is purely dedicated toward the data science thing. So first of all, why Python? So first thing, that whenever you are wanted to type any string, like suppose in any language, what we first do is we write hello world program, right? So to write such program, what you need to do is you have to write hello world, right? In the printf. In C programming, you have to use printf, you have to use brackets, you have to use int main, then header files. There's a lot of things are you have to write in mind, that lot of things. In C++ also you have a lot of things to write. So C out and this things. In Java also you have many things, system.out.println you have to write, and then again colon, brackets and all. But in Python, when you're talking about the Python, we just need to do some basic things, like let me tell you. So first of all, if you wanted to write any print statement, or you want to write some print some string or anything, then you just have to write print, and inside that you have to write hello world. And yes, This is this much simple, and you just have to run this file, and you can see that how easily we are able to write hello world, right? So this is very simple as compared to other languages. It is very simple to write. Another thing, this is a basically output or input statement. So print is basically output statement. So a few parameters are there in output statement. So till this point you have probably got a point why Python is good, because it's syntax. So another thing is that there are few arguments which we will be using in our print statement, and that are suppose I write print hello, print hello, and then this, and if I again write print then I write suppose world. So basically what happens is it will send first element, first string to the first line, and the second string to the second line, because printf by default uses new line command at the end of the every statement. So you can see that it automatically sent to the new line and it's printing the value, while in C++ it is not show. So these things are there. If you wanted to change this thing, like if you wanted to write in the same line, then what you have to do is there is some thing which is there, like you have to first of all okay, you have to do few things like this hello, and then you have to write comma, you have to write end, and then there is a command this, and you have to give a space between them, and then this. So after this, if you write print and if you write world like this, now this time it will give to you in the same line. So you can clearly see how easily it is written. So it is written very easily. Like here it was not easily returnable, so here you can see it is easily written, right? Now another thing is that if you wanted to write something like it also supports multiple data types. Suppose I write hello, I give some number, then there is some float value, one second, some float value, suppose 45, and if I give some boolean value, we will be talking in detail this what are these data types. But for the time being, just understand that it supports a lot of things. Like this is a string, right? This is an integer. This is an integer. This is a float value. Floating value basically we denote it with the decimal value. This is a true. True is basically boolean value. It is either true or false. So it gives 0 or 1 kind of boolean value, right? So this supports multiple data types kind of thing. And the another thing which is important is that after giving the comma, you can clearly see there is some space between them. So by default it uses a space, but what if I wanted to something else, like some other symbol between them? Then for that we use suppose hello, and then suppose I use 12, and then you just have to use sep, and inside that you have to write this and then this. So if I run this, you will get the hyphen or the underscore between them. So you can see clearly here hello underscore 12. So this is how we basically write the statement. Basically, so in statement is the another argument. This sep argument is another thing. So there are few other argument also which we can use while writing the print statement. For that you can always refer Python documentary, and that is suppose I want Python documentation. So what you can do is you can go here and you can see println function, and here you can see what are the parameter which we can use while dealing with these print statement. So yes, see sep is the parameter. By default it is a space, so that is why we were able to see the space between these values. And another thing is ind is /n, right? So /n basically by default you can see that in the previous thing in this particular block, when I use this to print statement, it automatically go to the new line, because by default it is set as a new line, right? Then there is two other parameter also, file and flush. You can clearly read this document for the more detail. I'm not going into that detail because that is not that much useful. So I am just covering this thing because it is more or less it is useful. Okay, so let's go ahead toward the input statement. So in other programming language, whenever you are wanted to give an input, so what you need to do is either you want direct input, or you suppose in Python what we basically do is we can input statement is multifunctional. Like it is work as a two-way. Like if you want input, like suppose I wanted to input some name, enter your name. So for that this is the input statement. So what it will do is it will give a prompt to a user, and user will be able to see we have to enter our name. And once we will run it, you will be able to see that our name is inputted inside this. So for that I am using some variable. Suppose I'm using some name variable here, and then at the end I am Arpit, and then this Arpit is written. Suppose I wanted to also print this name, so you can clearly see Arpit, and then name is printed as Arpit. So this way you can use the input statement. Basically this is really nice because in other program language what you have to do is you have to separately write this print statement, but in input in the Python you don't have to do that way. Okay, another thing which I need to do is suppose you want, this is a string, right? Suppose you want an integer inputs. If I give the integer in it, then also it is fine because it consider this element as a string, so it treat it as a string and it will print it as a string only. But what if I want it in the integer form only? So what you need to do is, suppose I need age, which is supposed to be integer, right? So int input enter your age, right? So you just have to enter your age and then you have to print age here, and you can see if I make my age is 24, this is 24, right? So you can clearly see how easy it is to handle this input statement. Then now you can do some mathematical operation like age plus 12. So you can clearly see, suppose 10 I given, then it is clearly able to do these things. But what if I do here like 12 name plus 12, then it basically give an error. So yes, you got an error because it gives you concatenate string with to string, because concatenation, it is trying to concatenate these things. Suppose I want concatenate suppose I write xyz. Now it will work because if I give input as Arpit, and it will give you Arpit xyz. Okay, so concatenation will be done here. But okay, so I hope you got the point what is actually happening here. So yes, so for the mathematical thing you need to typecast it. Basically this is typecasting we are doing here. Okay, so just a second. Okay, so what next I need to explain you that suppose you want to input in one go, right? Suppose you want to input in one way, in one line. So x comma y is equal to input. You just have to give the prompt which can user see, which is enter number separated by space. So we are telling the user so that enter the number which can be separated by space, so that he can give the first number. After giving space he can give the another number. So after that we will be using split command. Basically by default it is using the space for the splitting. So whenever there is a space will be found, it will split that element on the basis of those spaces, right? So if we wanted to see what are the element which is there in the x and y, or I want separately both element, suppose print y. So for this you can easily able to see 10 space 20, and you will be able to see that 20 and 10 and 20 is printed over here. So this way you can give the multiple input to this values. Suppose if you want some other values also, suppose you want z, so for that it is also working. You just have to write z, and yes, here is the thing 10 20 30, and you will get a 10 20 and 30. So it is this much, it is easy. I wanted to see the type of this particular x, suppose. So type of x will be, you can see it is a string, so we cannot do the mathematical operation. For that particular thing what we will be using is, we want to typecast it into the int form, right? So if I give int at the outside like I have given before this way, so it will throw an error. It will definitely throw an error. Let's see what will happen. If I give the int outside of this input statement, and at the end this, and if I run it, it will 10 20 and then 30. So it will give an error because this way we do not do this, right? So for this we will use some other mapping will be done, and it will be done by using map function. So basically map function is really nice function. Inside that we will decide first the data type in which we need the input of the element, and then I can run this. And if I run it and if I write 10 20 and then 30, so it will give 10 20 and 30. And now if I need to check what is the type of x, it should give integer. Yes, so we got the integer, right? So this way we can handle this input statement, and it is really amazing if you are using it. It is really amazing. You will get lots of power after using it, right? You can manipulate the string or input output statement. And now what are the data types? We have successfully covered the input output statement in the Python. Now what are the data types? Data types are the types of the data basically. In other programming language, what we basically do is whenever I wanted to assign any value to any variable, what we need to do is we have to define first what kind of variable it is. So I define int a is equal to 5. Suppose I am writing in C++, then I have to write this way, and this is called as static typing. But in Python, it supports dynamic typing, which is like this. Suppose I write 5, and if I want to know the type of the a, then it will give you as int. Suppose if I given the float value, it should give the float as a type. So you can clearly see it is float. If I give the some other value, suppose I given my name, you can see it as a string. So this is really nice. Okay, suppose if any other data type also there, then also it will fetch out the actual data type of the variable. Okay, now what I need to do is these are the data types which we basically use. Okay, so if I give you some few lines, right, this is a string, and if I want to write 12 and then type of a, so it should give int. If I want a is equal to 5.23, then it is type of a is this float, right? So this is the thing. You can clearly see how easily it can fetch the data type, and we don't have to explicitly say or tell the compiler that this particular variable holds float value. It internally it fetch out the what are the types of this float value, right? Now if you're talking about list, then data types, these are the data types. There are other data types like list, tuple, set, dictionary. We will cover each and everything in this, right? So first of all, list. What are the list? Lists are basically, suppose list is array, and it contains inside the brackets, closed and open brackets, square bracket, and we write suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is list, right? This is basically list. List also supports the multiple data type like print statement. Like print statement was supporting the multiple data types. Same way, the list also support multiple data types. Suppose I want r1 is equal to, I need to write 1. Suppose I need to write Arpit, and then I need to write suppose some number, say 98. Suppose some floating value 4.5, or I can use some boolean value. So those things can be that can be handled by the list. Nested list will be also there. So if you are talking about nested list. So basically how it works like list is equal to, I write 1, then there is 2, 3, then there is 4, 5, 6. So this way you can also write our list can be written like this also. So these are the way how we define list, right? Another thing is that we can also do suppose I wanted to fetch some element. So I just wanted to tell you that this first element is started with a 0. This is first index, this is second index, this is third index. So every time whenever we are talking about list or any other in Python, everything starts with 0. Okay, so the first index is 0. So if I want to print the first element of the array, then you have to write this way. Okay, so you can clearly see this is 1, and if you are going to do with AR1, so AR1 is the another array, should print Arpit, right? And if you are dealing with, suppose I wanted to go with 2, then it is 4.5 because 0, 1 and then 2. This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2, right? So this way we are able to do the things. So we can fetch easily these elements, and also there is a slicing also available. List also supports slicing, right? Slicing means suppose I wanted to suppose I wanted to print air, and you want some like 0, 1, so I need the string from 1 to, let's say I want 2 till 3, so it should do 0, 1, 2. So 2, this way it will give you 2, 3. So first element it is included, third is not included. It will count up to second element. Okay, second index. So first index is this, so it is giving 2. Second, first, and then second is this, it is 3, and third is excluded. Okay, so this way we can do the slicing. Also we can also do this way also. If we do not provide the initial, it will start with 0. So suppose I do this, it will start with 0. So 1, 2, 3. So first element is 1, 2, and then 3. So this way, and if we do not provide the end one, it will go up to last element. I'm just showing you 1 second. Then print air. If you do not provide the last element, so it will give you like this 1, 2, 3. if you give the first element as 2, then it will start with a 2. So 0, 1, 2, 2 is third, and 4. So all elements will be counted. Another way to write this, another type of slicing is like this. Suppose you want this, and this is the steps. This is the basically steps we are using. So for every second step, it will print. So see, the first element is printed as 1. It takes 2 steps, 1 and then 2. So this is third step. Third step is 3. 3 is printed. Then again it tries to take the 2 step, which is 1, which is 4, and then there is a 2. Right? So it is out of bound. That's why it is ended its work. Right? So this way we can do the slicing. Another thing which can be done in the list is that we can modify the list. Like suppose in air I need to modify any element. Like suppose first element I want to keep it as, I don't know, suppose let's 0. I want to first element as 0. So suppose 0 or 100. Suppose I need 100 and I want to write print air. In this way you can clearly see the first element is updated to 100. So this way you can modify your elements, your list elements. Also insert element. Insert suppose at particular position. Suppose in the second position you need to insert 50. So, and if you want to print air, you can see that second 0, 1, 2 second position, second index, it is changed to 50. So this way you can modify the list can be easily modifiable, right? If you wanted to remove any element by their value, so what you have to do is ar dot remove. Suppose that number is 50, I wanted to remove it and I want to print ar. So it will give you 100, 2, 3, 4, all the elements will shifted toward left, and in this way it is removed, right? Now if you wanted to delete from the end, you just have to write pop like this, and if you wanted to print ar, so the 4 will be popped out. So 4 is popped out means 4 will be deleted and the entire range is decreased, right? You wanted to clear all, so you just have to write clear and then print like this. One second. Okay, it is some typing error. So yes, it cleared all the elements. Suppose if I wanted to concatenate two lists, suppose L1 is the first list, so it takes 1, 2, it has 1, 2. L2 is another list which has, suppose let's say 3, 4. Then if I want concatenated list, CL is L1 plus L2. So if I print CL, so it should give 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the concatenation of the two list. If you wanted to repeat some element, like suppose L1 is some 4 or 5, and if you wanted to repeat that particular element, you just have to write L1 into 2, or suppose 3 times you wanted to repeat, you just have to place it inside the print and you just have to run. So 4, 5, 4, 5, and then 4, 5. So it gives you 3 times. So this is all about the list. So I have covered all the thing which can be used while we are dealing with the list. So let's move ahead toward the tuples. Yes guys, so we are starting with the tuples. Tuples basically it is similar to list only, but the basic difference between tuple and list is that tuples are immutable. Basically it means once it is defined, we cannot modify or change its values. Okay, so tuple can be defined as like this. So suppose 1, 2, 3 and 4. In this way we normally define tuple, and if you wanted to define a single tuple which contains only one value, then in that case you have to write in this way. Suppose yes, so in this way you can write the single tuple. Guys, also the tuples support the multi-data type. So it also supports multi-data type. This is float value, and okay, so it also support this. Guys, also if you wanted to define an empty tuple, so for that what you can use is you can simply do like this. So this is empty tuple. Okay guys, so basically this way you can define the tuples, and the same way you can fetch the element of the tuple as we do in the list. So like if you wanted to fetch this value 3, so basically it is at 0th index, 1 index and second index. So it is at second index, so we can fetch out like print tuple and then second index value like this. So you can be able to fetch third element, right? The same way we can do for the other tuple also. Like if you wanted to do for this, so you can do like this, print, then this, and then this. Yes. So this is the first index 87, and if you want to print the first, that is 0th index value, so you can just give the 0, and yes, you are able to see the first value. Okay. Now what next is that we can also concatenate two tuples. Like if we have t1 is equal to, suppose, let's say 7 comma 8, and let's say t2 is as 9 comma 10. So you can always concatenate these values in same way as we do in the list. So yes, you are able to see that 7 and 8 are and 9 and 10 are the two different tuples. We just concatenated, and then it is came into the same tuple. Okay, so this way we can do the concatenation in the tuple, and all other thing which is related to the modification or updatation of the tuple or the list, tuple. So it will not work on the tuple like we do in the list, that insert, remove, pop, clear. These things are not work in the tuple. So what other thing you can do is you can also do the slicing of the tuple like we do in the list. If you are able to see, yes, this way you can find out the subset or subtuples from the given tuple. Okay, so how you can do that? It is very similar to the list only. So what you can do is you can just have to write the tuple, and then you just have to specify the index. So suppose I want the initial index as 1 and the final index as 1, 2, 3 and 4. Suppose I want up to 0, 1, 2, 3. Suppose I want up to 4. So yes, now it is starting with the first index, that is second, then it will till third position, that is third index. So it will go up to 1, then this is 2, and then this is 3. So up to 3 it is printing it. So you can clearly see how it is easy. It is very similar to list slicing. Okay, so yes guys, we have already covered these things. One other thing which I haven't covered yet is that if you want tuple to be print the last element, what you can do is you can give the -1, and you can able to fetch the fourth element. Okay, and if you want to get the second last element, so for that you just have to write -2 from the end point. It is started with -1. Okay, the index is started with a -1. The same way it can be done in the list also. In list also you can do these things, like if I want the last element, you can do it like this. Just a second, I just have to rerun these things. Okay, so yes, if you are giving the index x -1, you can clearly see that we are able to get the value as it is L1, and the last value is 5, so we are getting 5 as a value. So same way you can do for other list also. So yes, this is all about tuple. Let's move ahead toward the sets. Yes guys, so sets basically sets are another data type in Python which we normally use. Basically in mathematics, when we are talking about sets, so it is a collection of all the unique element. So in similar way, in Python also, it is nothing but the collection of all the unique element. So it is since it is a unique element, and sets are unordered. Okay, so sets are unordered. Sets are unordered, and it is also unindexed. Sets are unindexed, and the another thing is that basically sets are mutable. Okay, sets are mutable because you can change the values of the sets. Okay, so we define sets as sets. Set 1 is equal to, we defined it as like this. So this is two curly brackets. We define like this as a set, and the number element inside it like this. Okay, if you wanted to define the empty set, then for that you don't have to write, you cannot write like this because it is incorrect. You have to write like this. One second, you have to write like this, so that if you wanted to make an empty set, guys, sets also supports multi data types. So if I try to define a set like this, okay, so if I define like this, then also it supports data type, because you can see this is first a string, then it is integer, then this is a float, this is a boolean value, and it support really well. Okay, guys, also one important thing is that if I provide in a set, okay, so guys, if I provide in a set, like suppose I provide set 2 as like this, 1 2 3 and then 3 and then 2, like this, and if I wanted to print this set, as I told you, set always contains only unique element, so this extra 3 and extra 2 will be eliminated. So you can clearly see only 1 2 3, only unique element is printed over here. Guys, another thing is that if you wanted to fetch the elements or access the element of the set, what you can do is you can write for loop. After some time I will be explaining you how for loop works, all the loop statement, how it works. After some time I will be explaining you. For the time being, just try to understand. We just have to write for element in set 2 colon, we just have to write print element, and in this way you can print the elements of the set. Yes guys, so you can also do the modification of the set. Okay guys, so you can you can clearly see it is a unique value. Another thing is that how you can modify the set, as it is mutable, so the element can be changed. So you can change like this. Suppose I wanted to change in set 2, or suppose set 1 dot add 3. Okay, so if you add this, you will be having print set 1, and you will be able to see actually 3 is already present there, so that is why there is no change. Suppose I get 5, so see 5 is added inside the set. Okay, the other thing which we can do is we can update the set with the update attribute by passing the multiple element. If I wanted to pass the multiple element, we can do it. Like this. So you can clearly see how 4 5 6 is written. Already 4 5 was there, so you can always have like this. Once again, suppose I have 9 10 11, and you can clearly see 1 2 3 4 5 6 9 10 11 is there, right? So 9 10 11, if you wanted to pass or add the multiple element in one go, you just have to write update. Okay guys, here also it supports remove statement. Suppose I wanted to remove particular number. Let's say I wanted to remove 10 from our set. I want to print set 1. You can clearly see 10 is removed easily, but the problem with the remove is that it will throw an error if that particular number is not there in the list. Let's say set 1 dot remove some number like 100, then it will throw an error, right? Because 100 is not there inside the list, so that is why it is throwing an error. So what we can do is, on the place of using remove, we can use discard 100. So in this way it will not throw an error. It will check if that particular element is there in the set. If it is not show, it will not throw an error, it will do nothing. And if that particular element is there inside the list, suppose I give 11, and if I wanted to print the particular element, let's say print set 1, then it will give the element after removing 11, right? So discard is the attribute by which we can eliminate the element, even if that element if not there. If the difference between the remove and discard is basically is that while using remove, we should use remove whenever we know the particular element is there inside the list or not. If we are not sure if that particular element is there in the list, then we can always use the discard attribute. Okay, so also it supports the pop and clear attribute. Pop and clear attribute. It supports both the attributes, so you can clearly try it out. So basically pop means it will remove the last element of the set, and the clear is nothing but it delete all the elements of the set. Okay, so basically you can try it out by yourself. Now basically set is the really good just because we can use the mathematical operations like intersection, union, see, in sets, we can use the mathematical operations, like since we have sets in mathematics, with the sets we can do the union, intersection, difference, symmetric difference. So this all thing which we can also do here also. So I'm just showing you how we can do. Set 1 is equal to, let's redefine it like this: 1 2 3 and 4, like this. Let's define set 2 as let's say 3 4 5 and 6. So if we need a union of them, we just have to write set 1 this, set 2 like this, and if we print it, you will be able to get the values, which is 1 2 3 4. So if you get the union 3 and 4, it is repeated twice, it will give as a ones. Okay, now another thing is that you can also do the intersection between them. So basically intersection can be done by using ampersand sign. Okay, so yes, so the common point between them is nothing but 3 and 4. So you can do this. You can use the difference from difference function. So set 1 minus set 2, and 1 second. Yes, so from set 1, those elements which are not there in set 2 is that 1 2. The elements which are there in set 1 which is not there in set 2 are 1 and 2, right? So this way you can do the symmetry difference, and for the symmetry difference you can do like this: set 1 set 2, like this. You can do the symmetry difference. So I hope you got the point how exactly the sets works. So I have covered almost everything. Okay, so this is all about set. Okay guys, so we will cover this dictionary and rest other thing in our next video. If you have any doubt in the this input output statement, data types, list, or the tuples or the sets, then please let me know in the comment section, and I will try to solve all those problem in our next videos, whatever you will be having. And it will not take more than 2 videos, because in the second video we will be try to complete this Python thing, and then from third or fourth video onwards we will start with the NumPy and pandas. Okay, so yes, thank you for watching.